Can I? Baby? Can I? Baby?
Yeah.
Can I? Baby? Can I? Baby? Can I?
Bring you to Nairobi where I'm mobbing at.
People, it's the Mike and Melvin podcast. I'm Michael.
I'm Melvin.
All right, and we want to thank everybody who listened to our last episode, Black Panther, a fanboy review. Man, we were jacked up on some shit, man. I mean,
That was a really awesome episode.
all right, yeah.
So today's topic, we're going to
Dude,
talk
before
about...
we do that, man, we gotta give a shout out to
shout-outs,
Kevin Grands. Kevin, thank you so much for the music. Everybody who wants to check out Kevin's music, y'all can go to SoundCloud. I think he's got some music available on Deezer. Kevin Grands is a rapper from Nairobi, Kenya. He does a lot of shit with Shoe Kid, who was on the 2016 the Kenyan 2016 XXL freshman list. They're trying to do big things. Shout out to you. Yeah, so
and to all our other subscribers who listen and subscribe.
everybody who listen, we trying to take over. I think we're gonna it's our plan. We're trying to go, drop some audio on Reddit. Sorry, not on Reddit, SoundCloud, Podbean. We're gonna set these up, real soon. But we're gonna try to grow our community, like Reddit, Twitter. We got the Facebook page. Shout out to everybody who likes the Facebook page.
And any new listeners, you can go and like the page.
Yeah.
It's called the Melvin and Mike, Mike and Melvin
yeah,
podcast.
Yeah, it's Mike first, man. Come on. I'm named after the GOAT, bro. Last week for the Ringer, again, this is some tangential BS, but last week on, I think last week or the week before last was the Ringer's MJ versus LeBron week, and MJ's the GOAT. MJ, Michael Jordan. So I mean, it's Mike before Melvin. I'm sorry, it's just how it has to be,
No, I'll let you have it this time.
I mean, we ain't changing it, bro. I mean, hey, are you gonna do the artwork?
And there's patent pending, so you never know.
all right. So today we're gonna talk about how Hollywood works.
Basically just delve into the whole process from conception to how the movies end up in the theaters.
We
wanted you guys to give you guys an overview of what goes down.
So we're gonna break it down into the big six conglomerates, the power players in this movie market, and also talk about production and distribution, which are vital to the movie creation and movie dispersion process. And then we're gonna talk a bit about China.
Yeah.
We gotta give this some love. China. We're gonna talk about China, and then we're gonna talk about we're just gonna react to stuff. Okay, great. So Melvin, you want to get started with the big six?
So basically, you have these major studios that make and distribute these movies, and you've probably seen them at the beginning of movies. The logos. We have Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, Disney, 20th Century, Sony.
And when you talk about the big six, in regard to media production, I mean, you're talking about Comcast, Disney, Time Warner, Fox, CBS, and Viacom. Now, all these studios that Melvin just mentioned are subsidiaries of these conglomerates. Comcast is the most valuable. I think their worth is $199 billion.
Where does that leave Disney?
Disney's second, actually. Disney's second, $167 billion.
Disney's racking up.
And then and then you got Time Warner, whose merger with AOL was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
And you got Fox, which
Disney wants to buy.
No, the assets of which Disney wants to purchase. Not
Not
no.
the
Disney's
entire-
not buying Fox. Okay, they're just buying
entertainment-
some of Fox's assets, some of Fox's
the
subsidiaries.
entertainment division.
Yeah.
At some point, I think Netflix is also trying to break into that market.
I mean, they are a major disruptor. I mean, you can't. And when I was looking at just the space, the media space, you can't you can't sleep on Google. You can't sleep on Netflix. I mean, you can't sleep on AT&T because at one point they try to acquire Comcast, which is it's crazy, man. Like, so you can't sleep on these guys because I mean now with digital disruption. Companies can set up in a flash and bam, they got crazy net worth. So, that's the idea. So, as far as green lighting movies is concerned, about how these companies green light movies, and we're going to talk about, production and distribution in a bit. But like, you want to do the breakdown?
Okay, let me start with a brief breakdown. So, there are two types of studios, There are the major studios, the big six.
All right.
And then you have the indie studios, which usually make these small budget movies.
Small projects, yeah.
Mostly for award season. We have like Miramax, New Line,
Oh yeah.
And the difference is with the big studios, usually they make blockbusters that range with a budget from 100 million to even 250.
250 million.
Some might even go higher.
All right.
And so usually what happens is, do we start with what's it called? The green lighting process. So we just give the overview first.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to just point out how things happen in Hollywood, how green lighting happens, because the outmoded way of green lighting movies is relying solely on one individual. But these days, studios make it the responsibility of executive committees.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like, Disney, they have different they have different studios within within their setup, like Lucasfilm, like Marvel, like Pixar, right?
Yeah.
And each of these divisions, that's a better way of putting it. Like each of these divisions has a creative lead, right? So Kathleen Kennedy for Lucasfilm.
I'm not a big fan of Kathleen.
You're not a big fan of Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But look, like,
you know why I'm not a big fan of Kathleen Kennedy?
we've had this conversation before. I mean, look, she's always found a way to surround herself with Spielberg-esque individuals. So I think that's a good thing because Spielberg to most people is the GOAT. Yeah, and we'll talk about Spielberg in a bit. Like, you have Kevin Feige for Marvel.
That guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he totally knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And John Lasseter for Pixar.
Yeah.
Now what happens is, all of these committees convene whenever whenever there's
a project.
Whenever there's a project that needs to be ratified, a project specific to the division. So if a movie, if an animation is pitched to Disney, then it's John Lasseter who has to get his guys like, yo, bro, we homies, we gotta go through it. Like, we gotta work this out. Like, if it's Marvel, Kevin Feige, he rallies the troops, gets the Avengers to assemble. Totally awesome because it's like it's like a Marvel joke. And Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, she gets the Jedi Council to like sit down and like muse on proceedings and things like those. So that's how things go as far as Disney's concerned. And then Warner Brothers, like, they have a green light committee.
Have divisions as well.
Yeah.
Actually, Warner Brothers has a horror division, usually New Line. Yeah. And they tried to launch an animation division, which didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Yeah. Just based on what I know about Warner Brothers is, like, the decision on, whether or not to ratify a movie rests in the hands of the marketing chief and the growth initiatives president.
But then, Warner Bros. Not like Disney. Like, Warner Bros. Really supports its people. You can see how they've been loyal to Christopher Nolan and loyal to Zack Snyder.
Okay.
They have this.
And we're going to talk about post-production and Murphy's Law. Like, because I don't like Batman v Superman, I don't really like Injustice. No, not Injustice. Justice League. Like, it was a meh movie. Like, because I have my reservations about these movies, like, I'm not, like, super sold on some of these directors, but that's not the point. That is not the point. That is not the focus of this episode. Like, yeah, if you want me to bash these directors, I will do that on Facebook. If you want me to bash these projects, I will do that. Oh,
On Twitter, yeah.
no, not on Twitter. Actually, I was thinking about setting up a Medium account, a Medium publication, because I think we're gonna need to do some writing.
Yeah,
Like we're gonna need to do some writing. So like, yeah, I'm gonna bash some of these guys. So don't worry. If you want me to tell you why I don't like some of these movies, I will do that. I will do exactly that.
DC fans, don't worry. I'll be there to defend BVS.
Hey, look, I'm a DC fanboy. Like, stop. Like, don't get me started on how they're handling Arrow.
Let's not go there.
Stephen Amell. And anyway. So final say rests in the hands of CEO and the president, which is Kevin. Man, I can't say that name.
Sichuhara or something.
Yeah, Sujihara, like Sujihara, and Toby Emmerich. I think, yeah. But they have committees, just different committees, like he said, like he pointed out, like the horror division, and what's this? The team that Jeff Johns heads, the DCU, the comics, the DCU. Apparently, DCEU was made up.
They said DC Banner or something,
something like that. Yeah, apparently DCEU was made up by the fans. So and then Universal. I'm going to talk a bit about their process because they also kind of have a committee, but they have one individual in charge of just.
What I admire about Universal is these guys.
Martial law.
Like these guys take chances. They just make movies. They don't care. They just take a chance on like projects, and you can see the Jurassic World, the Fast and the
Furious. Which should be a total brain fuck sometimes.
The Pitch Perfect, you can see all these movies. They've ended up being, quite a box office
Pitch
success.
Perfect 3 didn't do too well. I heard.
Really?
I heard it didn't.
But the first
it
one,
didn't
the
do
second
too well.
one.
The first one was great.
Oh, it was a mistake
I
to launch
watched
it in December. I mean, But anyway.
Yeah. So Universal, like.
Universal. Yeah. Universal isn't as strict as, let's say, Disney, because they always greenlight all the projects, like everything.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Though, I mean, there has to be some kind of evaluation.
Obviously, they can't.
Assessment.
They can't. They can't make and distribute everything that falls on the desk. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think Donna Langley and her guys, like, they do.
Universal basically has a set of certain producers, who work on similar projects. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have what's this guy? The guy who likes working with Michael Bay. He has a very difficult name. Bonventurero or something.
At this point, I don't know who likes working with Michael Bay.
Well, he makes the studios money, so I mean, okay, let's say Paramount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a Viacom property. So.
I think in fact Paramount is doing so bad for the past few years. They're not doing so great in the box office.
Mission Impossible, I think, might change.
Yeah, I mean, besides Mission Impossible and Transformers, most of their projects tend to fall flat on their faces.
It's a big hit in China. We'll get to China in a bit. That's the idea. Like, that's really what happens as far as the big six are concerned.
The decision-making process. Right?
Yeah, so Melvin, you want to get to production and distribution?
Okay.
And mind you, greenlighting a movie is part of the production process. Yeah. So we're gonna now crystallize what production and distribution are. So
let me start with how a project comes together.
No, actually, let's just define so the distinction between production and distribution. So production is basically filming and making a movie, right? And distribution is marketing a movie, right?
Yeah.
That's
and rolling out the movie.
Yeah, rolling it out and getting it from a distributor to an exhibitor and eventually to a customer. People watch. Watch the watch the movie. So you wanted to talk about distribution. You were saying something.
No, I was talking about what's it called? Bring the project.
Oh, right, yeah. Pretty much.
A trend I've noticed that's new. Traditionally, the studio used to have the script first, and then start looking for the stars. Uh-huh. But now you find a situation whereby there are talent agencies,
Oh, yeah.
WME, CAA, and this they rep the directors, the actors, and what you find is they bundle up, a project. Like we have this director and we have this soundboard, like what they did with Venom,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're like,
Risky project, by the
yeah,
way.
so we find the talent agencies are the one who approach the studios. Like we have this director and this star, and they might, they be interested in pursuing certain projects. So like to get people excited. Like if you hear about, Tom Hardy or Tom Cruise, or who's the first right now, Daniel Kaluuya, or
Daniel Kaluuya, or
Michael
Chadwick
Jordan.
Boseman.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman is, yeah. I mean, he's the name on everybody's lips. Like, yeah. But also, when you look at the 5 stages of movie production, there's still movies that follow, the traditional,
exactly.
5-stage model, where you have development, which is based on, creating the screenplay. Yeah. Now, the screenplay is the canonical,
Actually,
canonical blueprint
the
for the movie.
script comes first before the screenplay.
Yeah, which can take years to write. Like,
There are
3 to 7.
There are movies you're still waiting for. They're, in production since.
Yeah. Like the Black Panther screenplay was first written in 2011.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy like that, and we got to see the movie this year. It's crazy like that. So, development can last 3 to 7 years, possibly even 10 years.
Some movies are still in limbo.
Oh yeah, So when we're talking about a canonical blueprint, you've heard us talk about, if you listen to the Black Panther review, you probably heard us talk about, listen to us talk about. The 3 acts, first act, second act, and third act. All of that goes into the screenplay, where you just have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Like, that's pretty much what Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 are. Also, you're talking about music. This is where you develop ideas for that. This is where...
you scout for locations.
Yeah. Like, you do all these things that, that will transcend the movie, that will be, portrayed in the movie. Yeah, you do all of that, at the screenplay level, which is the development level. If you don't get it right, I think the most vital stages in the movie creation process are development and post-production.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
because look, if you have a major studio backing you, it's pretty easy to get the distribution right.
Yeah.
But like, if you mess up the development and the post-production, like that's the end. And also related to development, like, this is where you actually show executives, what the movie's all about, what your project is all about, because you need them to give you their backing, financially and otherwise,
And usually find that big projects, especially comic book movies, they announce they have, they're planning to release a movie in the next 2 to 3 years.
Oh yeah.
So what happens is directors go and pitch their own take.
Oh yeah, true.
And you have some directors come in and have some weird pitch, like what's her face pitched for Wonder Woman to have her tiger and the invisible jet.
Oh, you mean because Cheetah's gonna make her appearance in
the
one,
second one.
the second movie.
So
the female director for Wonder Woman, I can't remember her name. I seriously cannot remember her name.
But then you find that if the director has a unique pitch, like Scott Derrickson for Doctor Strange.
Okay.
He pitched
which, by the way, just let's segueing into Doctor Strange. Like, that movie did so many creative things as far as depicting magic. Yeah. Because the blueprint was what Harry Potter laid out, which was just lights, beams and lens flares and unnecessary lens flares. Like,
so you find that you remember the astral projection fight in the hospital.
Oh yeah,
amazing. So that's what got him the job. So usually, if a director,
we talked about this.
If a director has a unique pitch, then he's brought on board. He's signed off, and the project gets approved. Like, he'll be the director. And he can either script his own script, or he can revise an existing script. Usually he does it with a screenplay.
A specialist.
Screenplay specialist. Okay, that's a
writer.
Basically a writer. Like one of my favorite, the one who works with Danny Boyle. What's his name?
On which project?
Like all of them, Slumdog Millionaire, Molly's Game, he writes really witty.
I don't think I know who that is.
You know that guy. Anyway.
Who? No, it's not Shyamalan.
Not
Is it?
please
No,
no.
it's
Don't
not.
mention. Don't ever say that name.
No, it's not.
Don't, he who must not be named.
All right.
Yeah. So
Oh,
like
I just saw something recently. He was given a lot of money.
for Apple
Yeah,
streaming
yeah,
or
yeah.
something,
By
yeah.
Apple. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
given a lot of money to do stuff.
So basically,
know.
once the scripting is done, which can take some time,
Mm-hmm.
or unless you're like David Ayer who did
Suicide Squad, yeah, yeah.
in like 6 weeks.
And then he started complaining about the studio interference.
Interference,
Yeah, I saw that. Like, it was very interesting, the whole Suicide Squad situation. But again, about development, it all comes down to money and packaging.
Yeah,
Really.
obviously. Yeah.
Because it's like any project. A film is basically a project. So let's go to project management 101. Like the triple constraint, scope, time, and budget. And you have to show executives exactly why this project is worth their while.
And
that's
their money.
Yeah, and their money. Like, I mean, it goes together. Like, yeah. So that's the idea behind development. Yeah. So from
Once
develop-
okay, so I think once the script is done, they develop a budget for the movie.
Yeah, and everything we said about green lighting happens at this point.
And
Like, so just plug everything you've listened to before this portion of the podcast into your conceptualization of the 5 stages of movie production. And yeah, now we're just gonna segue into pre-production, which
And
is
just to throw in before you go there,
All
you
right.
find that in scripting, some scripts are written specifically for certain actors. Yeah, like no one else can play this. Sort of
like
people.
it's really interesting because like I recently watched this video on why the Oscars loves method actors. Like yeah, the Oscars why they love why they love method actors, like
Fassbender,
all these guys, like
Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah.
all these method actors, like you could name them, like there's a whole bunch of them, like certain movies have scripts that are tailored for the needs of specific actors.
individuals.
And that's just what it is, man. Like sometimes that is what it is. Like, so now we're gonna move on to pre-production, which is where all the interesting stuff happens. Location scouting,
Casting.
call casting. Shout out to the Migos. I know you don't listen to this, but shout out to the Migos. I've been listening to culture too. Location scouting, casting. This is where you get the directors, the whole the film
I think
team.
usually they bring on the director first. Before,
Okay, but
because he's the one who does the cast.
yeah, but there's situations where you might need to bring a director, after you successfully pitched a movie. Like, you might not need the director present for development. Like, you might need him, need to select the director after a movie's being greenlit.
Yeah, obviously.
Like,
Once it's been greenlit, then the director comes first,
Once it's
and
being greenlit,
director, producers, then casting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have, after hiring the creation team, you have to get work. You have to get permits.
Yeah, usually the different countries offer incentives and tax breaks.
Yeah.
Especially Iceland.
Filming Game of Thrones.
Canada.
It's really cold. Some of these places, like just as far as television's concerned, like the CW, like they love filming in British Columbia because it's pretty cheap there.
Yeah, Canada is like
it's
like,
really cheap.
Let's
to
just say
film
like
there.
so many shows are shot in.
I just filmed in Canada. Canada hasn't really given us many great actors, but like it's a great place to. Shut up. Shut up. Like, Canada hasn't really given us, many great actors, but it's given us many great locations. So just going back to pre-production, also production schedules are developed at this point.
Yeah, but usually blockbusters take 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, 3 to 6.
Yeah, while indie movies take even a month, or even you don't need to be on set for like all that time.
No.
Yeah.
No. So that's really pre-production, and then you go to shooting.
Yeah, principal
After that.
photography.
Yeah, like when you start
You
to
go shoot
film
on
stuff,
location.
Yeah, get people to come through. You know,
And then
get them trailers. Get these actors trailers.
oh yeah, the trailers. Oh, we have the prima donnas, you know, like Catherine Heigl and the likes. You know.
Oh yeah.
I want my coffee.
What's her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, she's yeah.
Prima
Jennifer,
donna.
Jennifer Lawrence, and also Gwyneth Paltrow. Also,
We have
yeah,
had,
another, yeah. She's got a big ego. Like, yeah. I mean, hey, dudes. Also, there's dudes who have big egos as well. So, yeah.
Russell Crowe.
Russell, 100%. I mean, Robert Downey Jr.
Really, I haven't heard bad things about.
No, not bad things,
Yeah.
but like.
I mean, in terms of his, him being.
Oh yeah,
prima donna.
but I mean, yeah, but it looks like he's got a big ego, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on, really? Yeah. So, shooting, really, where you just film on site.
They shoot on location.
Yeah,
For the specified amount of time. Usually they move about. Like with Wonder Woman, we're in Italy, and me and
Game
Wonder
of
Woman,
Thrones,
yeah.
man, like in different locations. I think they shoot in Ireland.
Yeah.
They shoot in
Iceland.
Iceland as well. So wow, that's
Hey, those
crazy.
guys have commitment. They're like waiting for the real snow.
True. Yeah, 100%. Like also, shows like Mafia. Like this applies to television and to films, but the difference is like with television, you got to get a production company to approve your pilot. So it's different where you pitch them a pilot.
No, what
and if
happens
they
is
like it,
you shoot a pilot, then you pitch it to them, then they're able to revise, improve on, or just edit
If they
or
like it,
recast,
yeah.
like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the Game of Thrones pilot that had the initial one.
Okay, no, I did not. I didn't hear that.
It's never been aired. It
hear
had
about
different actors. It was so bad, so they had to reshoot everything again and cast different characters.
Different actors.
Yeah, like it had so many different characters.
It was like one of those
And
terrible B movies?
it was so bad.
It was like a B movie,
was
right?
so bad.
Oh my goodness! Like I remember I saw there's a movie that was released last year. It stars Vince Vaughn as a convict intent on getting his revenge.
Which one was
Something
that?
like that. It's Cell Block something. Inside Cell Block something.
I told you
Like
to stop watching funny movies.
but it's got Vince Vaughn, and like I like Vince Vaughn. Dude, you're not saying anything. Like I like Vince Vaughn.
No,
like
I'm just thinking, Vince Vaughn.
oh, are you one of those people who didn't like his performance in True Detective season 2?
Speaking of, I've never gotten around to watching season 2.
What is wrong with you, man? Like what is wrong with you?
I don't know. Better stuff happened.
Better stuff happened.
Halt and Catch Fire. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Okay, Game of Thrones. Anything? Look. Game of Thrones is like for us is like this trump card. Like you play it, like there's nothing you
Nothing
can do.
can go
There's
wrong.
there's no other card you can play. Like dude, we can see defeat. Like we're not.
But
gonna...
Vince Vaughn, I liked him in Hacksaw Ridge. I think I was even
Hacksaw
telling
Ridge,
you about it.
Oh yeah, there's this the scene that you wanted to play.
Yeah.
It's like no, I was too tired. I was too tired that night. No. It's like after shooting, get to
What
post
actually
production.
in shooting?
Oh, okay. You want to talk
like
about shooting?
Disney, usually they focus their money shots for the trailer, so they tend to shoot the trailer shots first, so that they can.
Oh
Start
yeah. I've seen
post-production,
that somewhere. Yeah.
so they can start
I think it was Emergency Awesome.
post production
The guy who said
early.
that,
For the trailers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how they align some, of their in terms of shooting. They align their shots how this is going to be in the trailer, so you need to shoot this first.
Oh, you gotta shoot that, and you gotta shoot this. All right. Yeah. Now.
And then once principal photography is done,
Yeah.
now they go to, post production.
Yeah, post production.
Where you score the movie.
Which is where Murphy's Law really takes effect. Like anything that is bound to go wrong will go wrong at this point. Like, this is where you start where you plug all the leaks in your movie. This is where you fix all the problems.
Nowadays it's exactly.
This is where debugging happens. I'm sorry, I come from a tech background, so yeah, this is where debugging happens. It's funny because like debugging is analogous to I keep forgetting that that Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie that stars what's his name?
Kevin Hart.
No, it's from I think it's from 2010.
Snitch.
No. Faster with Billy
Faster.
Bob, like
Oh yeah, faster.
Bob Thornton. Like, yeah, I remember that. Like, it's like Faster, where the detective in that movie has to investigate a crime that he committed. Like, it's like that's what debugging is. Like, so you're basically investigating, a crime that you've committed.
Yeah.
Trying to find all the faults in your
Or
movie.
messing up the movie.
Or or you can mess
like,
it up.
Like editing Joss Sweden and
Just-
Justice League.
It was still going to be a terrible movie. Like, I told you about Zack Snyder. Like, look, and here's the thing with all these terrible DC projects. It's like they are in this conflicted space.
Yeah.
Should we focus on light themes, like tonally, like
yeah.
are we focusing on
Dark
on
or
light
light.
themes? Are we focusing on dark themes? Like, what are we doing? You know,
And I even
what the fuck are we doing?
And I always
Like,
tell you, Warner Bros is always like they blink. I say don't blink. Just go for.
I mean,
dark.
just do it. Like,
Just
yeah, if you
make
want to go dark, go dark.
and stay dark.
Yeah,
Know,
like,
Justice
what the
League
fuck
was
are you
a
doing?
mixed bag, and like
Yeah.
so where the trailers are different, the movie has a whole different tone.
Oh, yeah.
And just didn't work for me. So
Justice
post
League.
production is a critical
Yeah, this
stage.
this could make or break a movie. Really, post production. This is
Yeah. And,
Yeah, this
and
is-
end up removing so much content.
yeah. This is the
relevant
stage that
to-
makes you go, "Fuck this!" Like, fuck this movie. Yeah. Yeah, and then you get to distribution, which we will just
yeah, we'll
talk
do.
about right after
so
this.
basically, yeah.
Important to note about distribution is, like, if you, again, central to the idea of project management is creating Gantt charts. So again, I'm
This
just
is
going
what
to use this
you've done so far.
to try and explain certain things. Like, some of the processes that happen in some of the activities that happen in the distribution process might overlap with certain things,
Post.
processes that happen in the production process. So we'll talk about that. But it really starts with securing the rights to your film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're now talking distribution. So like Steven Spielberg, right? When he made E.T., right? Remember? Yeah. He had to set up his own LLC, which was
Amblin.
Amblin Entertainment. Yeah. He set up Amblin, and he pitched
And
his
Jim
idea. Yeah. He pitched his idea to the Big Six. Again, this is where it all just comes together. Like, not like the Justice League, but this is where it all comes together. Like, because it was in the lyrics to the theme song. Yeah, the theme song. Like, so you have to secure the rights to your movie. And usually when you're doing this, you have to get an option fee. You have to solicit an option fee from the producer of your film. An option fee is basically an incentive for you, the creator of the film, the creator of the screenplay, which is what it would be at that point. You see how it overlaps, with development. Like, so an option fee basically incentivizes you to be patient and await the greenlighting process, because and naturally option fees have a time limit. They expire. So
a
once
different studio can buy
so once your option's up, like, bro, I'm out of here.
Or
Like,
like
you're
that.
not greenlighting my movie, I'm out of here.
Like that Steve
You know,
Jobs
like-
movie. It moved
Oh, yeah, like-
around four studios, Universal, Paramount.
That's a lot of money in like option fees, and also it's like a guarantee for for the creators of the movie, the movie creators that
recompense,
like it's like what you'd earn in case it's just a way of minimizing the loss of not getting your movie produced if it actually ends up happening that way. Like, your movie doesn't get produced, so this option fee just makes things happen for you. Like, it's like that, like,
You can always take it to Universal. They
Always
never
take
say
it
no
to-
anything.
I don't think so. Well, I can't remember a situation where they said no to something, but
Yeah.
I think what they do is, and again, this is just me surmising at this point. Like, I think what they do is, they get their team together, and like they find ways to make some of these IPs a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot more about how well they treat their IPs after they receive an idea than it is about how they just how they just accept any project. Like, Yeah, I think there's some thought that goes into it because
Yeah,
Universal wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
It wouldn't be making
remember
Comcast all this money if
was it in 2015 they were racking up the box? They were giving Disney a run for its money. But then, in regard to distribution as well, you find that the other process of acquiring movies is at this like Cannes Film Festival,
Yeah.
And Toronto Film Festival, where you make and produce your own movie, and then you go and sell it to these small indie studios like A24,
Oh, yeah.
Miramax, Sony Classics, and whatnot.
Yeah. But then
Or even Netflix.
again, you're still you're still selling the rights to your movie,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is in line with this
Yeah,
this
with
process. And then after that, you have to secure a licensing agreement, which will determine, which will proceed to determine just how well, just the extent to which your movie is distributed. So this licensing agreement is usually, agreed with, this licensing agreement usually involves the filmmaker and the distributor, which in most cases will be the producer of the movie.
Obviously.
Because it's
I mean, if you're a movie, you want it to be accessible.
yeah, true. Because it's not it's really interesting in this space because before you'd have companies that are just dedicated to distribution. The American Film Institute, I think I got it right, but now you have Universal distributing their own material. You have Disney, Walt Disney Motion Picture, which was in charge of the distribution for Black Panther. I'm sorry, I am still hungover on this. I think Lupita, your girl Lupita, she slipped me some of that Panther juice, bro. When she took the herb, y'all didn't see this, but in the movie, she got another herb, another one of those heart-shaped herbs, and she for my homie in Uganda, because it rhymes with Wakanda, for my homie in Uganda, but anyway.
But then you find sometimes they can usually agree, you find Fox will offer to distribute the movie, in America and have maybe, Warner Bros. Distribute worldwide.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be the studio is the one that distributes everywhere.
Yeah, this 2015 movie that starred Tom Hanks,
Sally.
No, the spy movie.
Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, I think it was Bridge of Spies or something like that.
with Mike.
Yeah, because it was two companies that were in charge of the distribution. You had a local distributor, which I think was Disney, and you had an international distributor, which was 20th Century Fox. Oh, yeah. So it was one of those partnerships. Yeah, I think it was Bridge of Spies. Yeah, that's the idea really. So after selling your rights, you have to secure a licensing agreement, and this might require getting involved with this might involve meetings with production representatives and just film sales agents.
Yeah.
Film sales agents are in charge of international distribution. Yeah. And then production representatives, they work with film bookers, who are the film brokers, the intermediaries between the distributors and the exhibitors. The exhibitors being the cinemas.
That actually chains,
which was acquired by a Chinese company.
Of course.
Interesting. It was acquired by a Chinese company. So you have films, production representatives and film sales representatives, and you work with these people to create a plan that will affect the way your movie is
marketed and distributed.
To all these cinemas. And then after doing that, you have to negotiate with a film buyer. It's natural. And,
because what happens is the studio makes a certain number of prints to be rented out.
But that was when they dished out hard copies. Now they dish out digital copies of their movies. Distributors dish out it's this coffee. Distributors dish out digital versions of their movies. The buyers of the movies are in this case the cinemas,
the theater chains.
The theater chains
rent out the movie for a particular amount of time, usually 3 months.
So as soon as you've negotiated with the film buyer and you've gotten the movie in the copies in the cinema, then it starts to air. It's ready for a theatrical release and a theatrical run. and that's when
Plus,
people
yeah.
like us can go to the cinema
Plus,
and watch it. Yeah.
we've skipped a step where making hype for the movie, whereby
Oh yeah,
the-
Again, like with the overlapping.
overlapping,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
But
also, yeah, I don't think we mentioned this, but like in post production, you start to develop the artwork and the
trailers,
trailers. Yeah. So yeah, this is
and
this
you
is-
have
this could overlap with
the
that.
stars doing interviews.
Oh, true, 100%.
Yeah, having them launch trailers on these talk shows like Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh yeah,
And Ellen DeGeneres and whatnot, right?
Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then like after like a movie's theatrical run has ended, like once the movie's not available in cinema anymore, these firms start to they start to get ready to acquire ancillary revenue.
on the ancillary market.
Yeah. So basically, anything that is ancillary is anything that is additional. Additional in terms of
Blu-ray
providing a supplement to the income generated from
from the
theater,
theatrical run.
from cinema. So this is where streaming comes in.
Streaming,
Blu-ray, DVD.
Yeah.
The streaming is, I think, has surpassed.
It's the most popular.
Has surpassed DVD
ancillary
as a,
market right now.
yeah.
Yeah. I
As
don't
a more
think people
viable
even buy
option.
DVDs anymore.
Nobody buys the Blu-ray.
Even
People still buy
Blu-ray,
Blu-ray.
Yeah. Oh, Blu-ray is awesome.
People still buy Blu-ray, man.
Blu-ray is awesome.
So that's really what happens. So you start to collect ancillary revenue,
and then let's see. Talking about different
Release dates, yeah.
in terms of big blockbuster movies. Like the reason why certain movies don't start everywhere like at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Especially in countries like China.
Oh yeah, China. We're gonna get to actually. Should we segue into China
let's
right
segue
now?
into China
Let's
right
just
now.
segue into China. Like
So,
which is
like you find that China usually supports its movies like to an almost lethal degree, whereby they're like, you can only play 100 of your movies.
Yeah, actually, Let me talk a bit about that, because look, China has two perspectives on on filmmaking. Yes, they realize the pull, the allure of American movies, but also they want to usurp America as a dominant filmmaking hub, as a dominant filmmaking country. So I think their big movie project started sometime last year, 2017. Yeah, 2017 was last year. What am I talking about? So the thing with China is they had a very interesting quota, which is about 34 movies.
Yeah, and
Accepting only 34 movies from the U.S., right?
US,
which is really interesting, because wow, only 34 movies. Now, in order
that's between January and August.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then there's
yes,
a blackout till November. Right?
You guys remember the Transformers movie, which basically displayed all of this, the fourth Transformers movie
Edge
with
of Extinction.
Mark Wahlberg and Stanley Tucci, and
I'm a big fan of Stanley Tucci, by the way.
You're a big fan?
Very big fan.
Very big fan. Yeah. I will defend Zach Galifianakis till I drop dead. I think he's a one of a kind actor.
I never know how to pronounce his name. I always call him
Galifianakis.
that guy from Hangover.
From Hangover. Yeah. So for me, it's like, sorry, going back to China, where they have this interesting quota where it's just 34 movies. The reason why there's a lot of demand for movies in China is because China has experienced this big boom. This big economic boom, where their middle class has grown a lot. And let's be honest, China's not running out of people.
Nope,
not anytime soon. They're not running out of people. And usually with their demands, their studio demands, you have to portray China in a positive light.
Yeah.
And also you can employ certain measures to get over that 34 movie limit. Now, this is how it happens. So you have an American movie, right? And you want to distribute that movie in China. So you have to get it approved by the Chinese Film Commission, which is a national body.
Yeah.
It is crazy. These guys, they got this set up,
If your movie has ghosts, then
too
bad.
If it's got negative material about China, then no. If it's deemed offensive to Chinese audiences, forget about it. But the interesting thing is Harry Potter is really popular there, and it offers a lot of fantasy
Really?
and
Oh, yeah.
that's something they wouldn't usually approve.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know usually
Yeah, like-
magic, movies with magic tend not to do.
Unless it's
Not
a
to be
Great Wall,
approved. Yeah.
which is a co-production. We'll get to that. So, you have this 34 movie quota, or Hollywood has this 34 movie quota. So, how do they get around it? Like, one, you could share the revenue with Chinese cinemas.
Yeah.
That's how you get more than 34 movies approved. One of the ways. And then the other is just co-producing with a Chinese company,
Oh, Wanda Group.
Matt Damon.
yeah.
Just
The Great Wall.
yeah,
I
the
don't
Great
know.
Wall. I think they
It was-
set up Legendary East and
Yeah, they Wanda bought Legendary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they set up Legendary East just
Yeah,
for
for Chinese-
for
Chinese
co-producing with
production.
China. And then you could pay a flat fee. Like, listen, guys, we're gonna give you a certain amount of money. Just get our shit in China. So
I'm
the interesting thing with all of these is you have to adhere to certain constraints. Now, if you're co-producing with a Chinese company, like, you have to film
in China.
in China. Like, listen, look, you can film you can film certain parts of your movie in another country, another part of the world, but you have to film.
In China.
In China.
Or have a Chinese star in your movie.
Oh yeah, no, you have to have like almost a third of your cast has to be Chinese.
Not really a third, but
Okay,
one,
but like a huge chunk of your cast has to be Chinese, right? Yeah, and also what's this movie? There's movies where like originally like it was supposed to be shot in. I got this from Vox. It was supposed to be shot in in different locations, and they ended up filming most of it in China. Was it the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the actor.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. You remember
Oh
that?
yeah, I remember that movie by this guy who made that
Yeah,
awful
yes,
Star Wars
yes,
movie.
yes. Shut up. I love Star Wars. Shut up.
It was called the one for time travel, right?
Yeah. Like it was similar to in a few ways to the one that dropped last year with Harrison Ford. Similar to Maze. No, not Maze Runner. What am I talking about?
Leap. Is it called?
Looper.
Looper.
Yeah, I think it's Looper. Yeah,
yeah.
it's similar to Blade Runner. Actually, the time travel aspect is similar, where Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays the younger, Bruce Willis's younger self. They actually had to change location from like Paris to China.
China.
Yeah,
I couldn't even
because
tell.
because they had to get that movie sold
in China.
in China. And like the other interesting thing is like with Chinese audiences, like when you co-produce, like you have to create like a Chinese version of the movie.
Oh yeah, like the Ant Man 3.
Yeah, like you have to create a Chinese version. Also, like Transformers, like they had to create a Chinese
they
version,
did,
Mandarin. Yeah.
Hey, but basically, you can just say the Transformers: Age of Extinction was just a marketing push for Chinese audience.
Yeah,
like like a third of the movie was just
Yeah.
Chinese milk and the hotels, but they got in some legal problems.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, because one of the hotels in China paid for for it to be featured in the movie, and it wasn't.
It wasn't featured?
No,
Wow.
it wasn't featured. So,
Wow, that is bad. That is really bad.
so they took Paramount to court. I don't know how it ended.
Don't piss Chinese people off. Please just do not. I have a lot of love for Chinese people, but look, just don't piss them off. Like, don't. So if you're gonna share revenue with
Theaters.
with Chinese companies, like, because that's another way of getting over that 34 movie threshold. Like, you just split the profits of your of the revenue that you accrue from the Chinese market. So, like, listen, guys, we're gonna give you a huge chunk of this money. Just make sure our movie permeates through the Chinese market. Yeah, and
But some movies do quite well in China,
I mean, yeah, like they
unless it's Star Wars.
unless it's Ranger Solo.
Did you see that by there? I saw it.
I saw something like that. Ranger Solo.
And speaking of Solo, actually, remember I told you I was skeptical about that movie, but then after the first trailer, I'm on board.
We both were. I still am. Like, I'm still skeptical. I think. Look, Donald Glover looks great as Lando Calrissian. I'll say that. But like, I don't know. Is his star power enough to to save that movie. Emilia Clarke's in that movie as well, but like I don't know, is their star power enough? Because
To save it in China or
no,
overseas?
like just in general, because we like talking about good movies.
Yeah, but I think
And-
Donald Glover has the pull. I mean, people watch Atlanta.
But you see, the thing is, it's not really his movie. It's a Han Solo movie, and quite frankly,
the movie that you didn't ask for.
I told you why. Yeah, I told you why I don't like the movie. Is I agree with Dan Mule from Screen Junkies, where you don't need to explain cool. Look, we know Han Solo as the guy who showed up with the Millennium Falcon with Chewie. Who showed up with the Millennium Falcon with Chewie and did all these things. So we don't really need to care about that. Yeah. Anyway, so the third option, which is paying a flat fee, involves splitting the revenue cost, splitting revenue accrued from cinemas, so from ticket sales. So you basically sell a movie to China, at a fraction of the cost of which it was produced, and you let them take a huge chunk of the profit you make from that market. It's another way of getting over that 34
Quota.
movie movie quota. Like, it's very interesting. Like, imagine what it would take for a Kenyan movie to penetrate the Chinese market. Like, I mean, look.
Loads and loads and loads of checks should be signed.
Oh yeah, a lot of checks. And are Kenyan film producers willing to do that? Is another question we have to ask, because
I think the producers, the Kenyan film industry is ready to work, but the government doesn't go out of its way
doesn't support this.
to support this project. This it supports this project. It has a lot of events, but thinking like big budget movies, not so much. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Also, I don't know, man. Like, I think we might need to do a focus. To do some research on African
Kenyan
cinema. Like,
Oh yeah, actually thinking about that.
because I mean, we're talking, all this Hollywood stuff. Like, we might need to look at why
At home.
why African movies are not really working.
No, but Nollywood is doing quite well for itself.
I mean, they're just look. It's like Bollywood at this point. Like, they're just creating like rip-offs, terrible rip-offs of concepts that we've already
We've seen
internalized.
before, yeah.
Like, they've got this. I remember. I don't know how true this is. Like, I was going over my Facebook feed and I saw this Who in Wakanda. Like, I saw some shit. I'm like, no, this is gonna be terrible. Like, this is totally gonna be terrible. Like, and then just going to Uganda. Like, who killed Captain Alex?
Oh, yeah, that
like, who killed?
Captain Alex? That's CGI, man.
I can't really make
Who
out the
killed
plot.
Captain Alex? And then one
Is
moment.
that your Wakanda voice? Like, is that your Wakanda accent?
No. My Wakanda voice is like, I'm coming from Wakanda.
Shout out to Bernard, like, wherever the hell he is, man. Like, I mean,
Cool guy, yeah.
Well,
But at this point, they don't take themselves seriously. They're just there for comic relief, which I think also works. But I feel if they were serious, then
no, I think the thing is, like, some of these studios are really serious. Like, some of these, it's just some of these Ugandan, these Kenyan projects. Like, some of these filmmakers are actually serious about the kind of projects that they want to, they want to undertake. But
speaking of, actually,
it's
there's
just, I think it's just,
a Kenyan short film that's been nominated for the Oscars right now.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
You don't remember? Yeah, but like,
it's just-
I think it's just the production quality and the machinery at their disposal.
Yeah, exactly. I think the
And,
structure isn't put in.
True.
There's no structure put in place to really push
Also,
towards
also,
this.
do you think we our colleges produce many talented actors?
Yeah, I'm
do you
sure
think, do you think our colleges do that? Because
they're very good.
I mean-
they're very good. Kenyan actors.
I mean, yeah, but like, just how many Kenyan actors does the average Kenyan college produce? Because there's a
Not-
possibility that some of these actors excel because they're just really good at
They're
acting.
good.
if you
Yeah,
know what I
most
mean.
most
Like,
of them are good at acting. I
yeah,
wouldn't say
there's
like,
a possibility that
unless
that
it's
happens.
someone like Lupita who actually went to
Lupita's pretty
She
good.
went to mid school in States to study acting.
Is it a California-based
Yeah, it's California based.
school? Huh?
Yeah, but
Because I know UCLA has a film school. I'm sure UCLA has a film school.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if LMU has one, but like I don't know. Like she might have. Yeah, she probably studied in somewhere in the Bay
But
Area.
like in Kenyan institutions, I wouldn't say there's anyone who's broken out who.
Exactly. Like again, so
It's just talent that's gotten off,
Yeah,
from
exactly.
auditions and
True,
that kind
I
of
think
thing.
so, like-
And there isn't that much, like you're saying,
Emphasis
mechanisms
on- yeah,
to
yeah.
help these
Machinery,
people,
yeah,
like
yeah.
action coaches and
Oh,
acting
true,
and
true.
drama school. But Kenya has awesome theater,
Oh, true. No. Look. Because Uganda too. Like
Yeah.
the National Theater. There's a lot that goes on over there. Shout out to everybody who who showcases
Their art.
creative their creative side in the National Theater in Uganda. Like you get a lot of spoken word. Actually, one of my former classmates. Her name's Hawa. Like she does really well. She's a really good poet. Like yeah, shout out to you, Hawa. Like so you get all these creatives. I think that's how
Yeah.
that's how you can categorize such people. Like you get all these people to showcase their talent. It's just how many of these people are colleges producing, because like the emphasis seems to be on on information technology, IT related courses, and like business related courses. Like,
There isn't much for the arts. To
oh
be
yeah,
honest,
like
yeah.
that might be a factor. I'm just saying, like, again, we haven't done a comprehensive study on things that might affect cinema here in Africa, but we're willing to do that because look, we're not delusional people. We love Hollywood, but we love we can support the film industry here, the
Kenya.
local film industry, and I think it's in our plan to
Along the
to
lines,
get to get
creatives to
filmmakers,
come.
Kenyan filmmakers, it's so that's the idea really. I think that covers it. Like we've described the different processes we've gone from the big six to marketing and distribution. I think now people understand how these movies are made. Really, we're giving them a black box model because we don't want to go into
too deep.
like how filming is and how you shoot CG,
shots,
like how you no, we don't want to go into that, but that's the idea really.
Yeah. And then I think before we conclude, I was thinking to throw in there that if on the publications when they say a movie makes like 900 million, it doesn't mean that it all goes back to the studio.
No.
The studio takes a certain percentage.
Yes.
Usually in the first 2 weeks takes like 50%, and then starts dropping unless you're like Unless you're like Disney, who's like, if you don't screen our movie in the biggest screen, they're taking
Like,
45%.
also the cuts that they take from cinemas, like
Yeah.
which went up sometime. Is it last year?
Last
or,
year.
Yeah,
No, actually,
last
they were
year,
specific for The Last Jedi. They're
Oh,
like,
true.
If you don't show this,
they
not.
increased the cut from cinemas because they knew that movie was gonna hit and hit hard, which it did.
It did.
Like so, I mean, they can get really the big six. Like some of these guys can get really shrewd with with their practice. Melvin, you got any news bites? Anything? we can react to?
I mean, you're excited about Avengers, which has been moved up 1 week,
Oh yeah, like it's
From
moved up 1 week, so
May 4th to April 27th.
I mean, the look on Mark's face when I mean, the look on
In
Mark's
time.
face. Yeah.
You shall
Mark, you're
realize
gonna
what
have
it's
to
like
wait,
to lose.
Yeah. Oh, is that in the trailer? Like
Yeah, when
Thanos?
Thanos is
Yeah. I mean, what do I think about it? Like, I know it's gonna be a great movie. So waiting another
honestly.
week is not, is not really a problem because
But
we're still gonna get.
It was more of
Get it,
a
get
business business decision because when they moved it up 1 week, remember Deadpool also moved up 1 week.
Oh yeah.
So they'll have, if it opened on May 4th, they'd have 2 weeks to make money. But now they have 3 weeks before Deadpool drops.
All right.
Yeah, so that was the marketing, the business decision
Nice,
behind,
yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Then,
nice. Straight up, this is all related to distribution.
Distribution,
So
yeah.
you can tie that in. You can just tie that into into that explanation.
And then, on to the next news is Black Panther is, at the moment.
Breaking records.
Yeah,
like
it's at 900 million. Okay, 897, going to break 900 million.
My prediction is it's gonna get to $1 billion before
Obviously.
mid-March.
I mean, come on.
Before mid-March.
It hasn't even opened in China and Japan and Russia yet, which are...
Yeah, I think it
Yeah. It
it
opened...
got over the 500 million mark.
501.
Before President's Day.
Yeah, this
for-
weekend.
yeah.
This weekend, yeah. 501 at the...
Yeah.
at the yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Dude, Black Panther, great movie. Check out our review.
Woo, 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 woo.
Are you done? Anyway, Yeah, what else? What else?
Yeah, pretty much. And then just Sweden stepped off
Step down, yeah.
from directing Batgirl, which I think
Which is something he really wanted to take charge of. Like,
I think it was let off easy PR. Oh,
he likes super heroines.
Yeah,
like, he likes those.
He knows
those
how to
female-
do justice to female characters.
like,
Yeah,
I mean,
with
Black
Batman.
Widow.
Yeah,
That's all Joss Whedon. Like, I mean, giving her that role, like, Black Widow. I think she, the chemistry she's developed with Hawkeye. Again, we're going to talk about the Avengers for a second. Like, yeah, that was a really good dynamic, from the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like,
But I think Joss belongs to Marvel. His style doesn't work for DC, especially not after what Snyder
no, he's
has.
still a great director.
He's a great director. I mean, I watched his movie, the black and white one, now with
I don't think I've watched that.
No, it's an indie movie. It's
indie
really indie. No,
All right.
It was back from 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a great director. But I think he's not the right, vision for DC moving forward.
Right.
Especially that happened to Justice League.
Justice
It
League.
still hurts.
It's Justice League. Yeah. All right. Okay.
So-
I'll say this. Look, he's gonna find some work.
Yeah,
we know that.
yeah,
He's
obviously
definitely
can
gonna
find
find some work.
Yeah,
Thing is this Batgirl movie still gonna happen?
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just that DC, they're like, oh, we are going to strategize, moving forward, and
You think your boy Walter was involved?
oh, definitely.
You think your boy Walter got involved?
It's not a coincidence that Walter came on and then Joss had to step down.
I think like Jeff Johns just try to be that human shield. Like, again, I'm just imagining a situation where he's like, "I will protect you." I'm like, no, anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, I think that's great news to me. I was worried about that movie,
All right.
another movie that didn't ask for what you're getting. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
So as far as news goes, I think that's about it. Unless you want to throw in something else.
No, man. Look, I'm just excited. About again, like I said, I'm still high on this Panther juice. I can't wait for Infinity War.
Me too. But you realize that 2 movies are dropping the next 3 weeks. Tomb Raider and Pacific Rim.
We gotta go watch both.
Yeah, obviously.
No, Melvin. Actually, I was thinking about something the other day. Like, how about just giving, we're not at that 1,000 subscriber level. How about just giving a fan, somebody who responds to either somebody who responds to a question,
Yeah.
or somebody
Who asks a question.
who asks a question.
Yeah.
How about we just randomize everything and just give a fan a chance to just watch a movie with us?
With
We'll
us.
pay for
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
Yeah, we'll just pay for everything. We'll probably get these guys on one episode of the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's something we can offer.
Yeah.
Right now. So yeah, look, I'll just throw it out there. Look, moving forward, if we're gonna start posting just questions and just start discussion threads. Yeah. So if you really like the direction that we're taking with this, we will.
And you actively participate.
Yeah. We're just gonna pay for we're just gonna pay for you. We're gonna get you a ticket. Get you some food from the concession stand. We're gonna take care of you in the cinema. Just come through, watch a movie with Mike and Melvin. That's really what it is. We want to keep it simple, so just come through, watch a movie with Mike and Melvin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea. Watch a movie with Mike and Melvin. We're just throwing it out there.
And see me freaking out during Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. No, you're totally gonna fanboy Pacific Rim. You're gonna.
I think I'm the biggest Pacific Rim fan. I watched that movie 9 times.
take
9
the fanboy
times
approach.
at IMAX. 9 times, man.
9 times.
So, Pacific Rim, I watched it 9 times at IMAX.
No human being should do that.
Man of Steel 13 times. So, I mean,
Why did you do that to yourself? Why did you do that? Why? Why the fuck did you watch?
You know why? I'm a movie dependent life form. So what else can I say? Anyway, that's up for today's
That's
session.
a wrap.
In case you have any questions, you can post on our page, the Mike and Melvin podcast.
Yeah.
And you can comment on our YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna
channel.
expand. We're gonna get bigger. We're gonna take that Killmonger approach. Just let this Wakanda culture just
I
permeate
want
through
it
the
all.
world. Yeah, we just want it all. Like, yeah, we're just gonna, just make sure this Mike and Melvin material, this Mike and Melvin propaganda, just, you know, you know, permeates throughout the web.
Yeah, exactly,
That's the idea. That's the idea. So.
Yeah. So thank you guys for your support so far. And
Yeah. Yeah.
we hope you'll be tuned in for our next episode.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can find me on Twitter.
You finally got a Twitter account. You finally got a Twitter
That's
account.
what I started with. Yeah,
Goodness. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you can tweet me on I am Melvin
lazy.
K.
That's
On
bad handle.
Twitter or Melvin Kanyawanda.
Okay.
This
is bad handle. Terrible
on
handle.
Facebook.
I need to show you a thing or two about Twitter.
I mean, these guys are so stingy with their words. I wanted some,
shut up.
some long.
Nolan was taken.
designated-
Nolan.
I don't know. It's like in progress.
But to me, you are Gonda from Wakanda. No, stop this. But Agira Loki on Twitter. Let you remember, Michael on Facebook, and everything else, Medium. Just find some of my articles there. We're gonna try to set up a publication.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like I said, we're gonna for any for some of our reviews, we're just gonna write. That's the idea moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, y'all take care and
You guys have a good week.
yeah, and have fun.